So in one of my other boxes I found here, I found this die-cast metal semi, and it was like stinking cheap. I think it was only like $3 or something like that for this huge giant rig. So it was all screwed together. So I'm going to make this into a terrain piece eventually. And what I want to do is I want to have this kind of like a wreck, and I want to have it the front end of it half buried in the sand, sticking up, and then I'll rust it out and do that type of thing. So I saved the wheels, and I got all that. I got all that kind of stuff here. So anything, any of that kind of stuff, I save all the wheels, all the little parts and springs and screws, and you never know when all that kind of stuff is going to come in handy. I also got some of this wire mesh. Here's the mesh to scale. I think it's probably about 1/4 inch holes, but I think those will make some great. Whoops. That'll be some good terrain pieces, for rebar, that type of thing, sticking out of some foam. That'll look good. And of course, I got this granny board. I guess grannies do like carpet weaving or something on it or whatever. I have some white pieces, but I was at Michael's and I saw that it has some black pieces. Like, I was looking at the white and I said, hey, well, I'm just going to take those home and I'm just going to prime them white for the project that I'm working on. Or I'm going to take the white ones home and I'm just going to prime them and paint them black. So here the ones are already black. So I'm like already halfway there. So that's good. Here's another one of the little building materials that I like to use. This is just an egg carton. So this is really, really handy for foam work. The nice thing about it is it's so easy to work with. You can literally just tear it off, and then when you look at the edges, it's already naturally ruined. So all I'd have to do is just dry brush that, and there's like a piece of steel or what have you. Now, and if you want to, another nice thing is you can bend it and kind of crinkle it, and see how it's already getting kind of cracks on it, which is really good as well too. And you can really kind of mush the stuff. So if you wanted like a bent piece of metal, on the corner of a building or anything like that, this is a great product. I really like this. Or rip it in half, double layer it if you want to go with that type of look. You can take this and you can just glue this on as a piece of scrap metal on some post-apocalyptic terrain. I've shown this piece earlier, and this is all made out of the egg carton material. So what I did was, so this part here, this is the part that's in the center of the egg carton. I just kind of mushed it down to give it all those wrinkles and cracks. There's the hole that's actually, well, that hole I made there, but on this side, this hole there, that is where the tab off of the egg carton goes. So, and over here, I got one of the tabs over here, and then I have another piece that's inverted into the back. So, and then on this side, you can see the little piece is actually way down there, and you don't even really see that anymore. So, a lot of times when I'm building these type of things, sometimes you got to actually pretend you're right there and get down at eye level and say, if I was a guy and I, in this situation, and I wanted to build some terrain, or wanted to build like a makeshift kind of bunker, where would I lay these pieces of foam? So like, and that's where you get into your details. So like in here, for example, in the corner, I have a little piece that's bent and it looks like it was welded into place, with a little window out the side, so they can get, catch guys up and maybe trying to flank them and what have you. So this is one of my works in progress, and just took some little chunks of pink foam here and there, threw those on, and figured that might help keep the guys that built this would want to put some rocks in the front to help hold down, for the weight so it doesn't blow away. And here's some bigger pieces of rock, in the front. This may have been like one of those dividers that are on the freeway, and there I just put some battle damage on there, mashed it up, bent it. Once that's done, it's going to look good. And even like this piece in here, that's the edge of the packing, the egg carton, that's got a natural curve on it, but it looks like a piece of metal that was just You know, could have been off an airplane or who knows what. Here are some crates. I think Pegasus Hobbies makes these. I bought them in a gaming store. You know, me and the wife, we used to call the gaming store the geek store. So, you know, I'd say, hey, let's go to the geek store. I'd go in there and look around and find something interesting that I liked. So, again, that's the scale, you know, with these guys. Crates. Yeah, barrels as well, too. So, throw those as some accessories on some terrain. So here's another thing that I found. This is sea glass. I actually thought this was a naturally occurring product from the sea. You know, and so I figured, you know, what it actually is little pieces of glass. Now, these ones are manufactured, so they're probably put in like a rock tumbler, you know, until they come out all smooth and that. But I'm going to be using these. I have some blue ones as well too, and this is going to be part of my crystal terrain. So it's got some really interesting little pieces. And if you go into any kind of department store, and I think Walmart even has this kind of stuff, that if you go like where they have all their like flowers and vases and stuff like that, you know, you can probably find some stuff like this. But, you know, it's already got some nice interesting texture on it. It kind of looks like crystal. And I got a whole pile of those. From the dollar store, I got an assortment of styrofoam balls. You know, you can cut them in half, use them for whatever. You know, I think it's online. Someone made them into some spore mines or something like that. Stuck toothpicks out of them. And I got some medium-sized ones, and then a couple big ones. Here's another thing that I made. This is spray foam insulation that you get in a can, you know, called The Stuff or what have you, for filling gaps around windows and doors. You can get that at the hardware store. You know, they carry it just about everywhere. So anyways, I sprayed it, and it's got a flat bottom. So then what I did was I primed the whole thing white. And if you look there, it's got some really cool looking texture. Not that that's just the beginning phase of it. But what I did was I went and painted it. So now this looks like a fireball. I don't remember the exact colors I did, but I think I did some orange, or yellow, orange, red, and highlighted it with some black. So there's one of my explosion pieces. And I found this material. This is just this fake looking like cotton. Is it like cotton batting or something like that? I think they stuff in furniture and that. But they usually sell this at Christmas, so you can lay it down like around your Christmas tree and make it look like snow. So you got some snow inside the house. But so what you do is you pull off a chunk of this, right? Then you spray paint it. After you spray paint it, you just pull it apart like this. And after you do that, what you end up with is some smoke. So, and you know, it starts out all black, but the more that you pull it apart, see, the whiter it starts to get. So now I can put this, set it up, put it on my explosion or whatever, and now it looks like there's some smoke coming off of it. You know, I'd probably make a smaller explosion, get a little tiny one with a little bit of smoke coming off it. So that's one way that you can make some fake smoke. Here are some trees that I picked up right after Christmas. You know, they quite often have those like ceramic houses and little churches and bakery shops, and then they sell the trees and all the other stuff that goes along with it. So they're all clearing them out at like $1 a piece, so I scooped a whole bunch of them. You know, great little terrain pieces. Here's a couple more terrain pieces. These pieces here, this was actually taken out of an old television set, just as is. There was screws sticking out of there, you know. So, painted them up, and away you go. They're not finished yet. This one here, this is one of the main corner supports. So the main corner supports for holding the picture tube in place. If any of you young guys are saying, "Oh, what's a picture tube?" You know, that's before we had flat screens and all that. So, aging myself, anyways. But you know, it's got some really cool detail on there, and I paint it kind of this industrial kind of burgundy. You know, I like that. The other one's identical, so I don't really need to show that one. But like I said, to try to create something like this, you know, is very time consuming and very difficult. If you know where to look, and if you can see something that's got potential, you know, that's really where you're gonna, you know, really fly and save a lot of time and make a really cool looking piece. So I got those, and I got this one as well too. So here's how it originally started out. So there's the actual mesh, you know, or whatever, the air vents, I guess, from the TV, and there's one little piece here is the one that I took off for this one. Well, once I get it down like that, you know, it's going to be a nice look. It's going to look awesome. There you go. Here's some other things that I found at the dollar store. Here's a woo. here's like a pirate kind of set. One day I'll probably do like a pirate island or something like that, and you know, have this mounted into a cliff. So I got that. I've already primed it. You know, it's kind of one of those, once you got things out, and if you're priming one thing, and if you have a terrain piece that's just kicking around and you're, you know, meaning to hold it. So like, if I have this sitting in a box, unprimed, and I'm working on this, why not grab this and prime it at the same time? So like, I might have like 30 pieces that of things that I want to work on, so I'll just grab them all and prime all of them, and then that's just something I don't have to do later. So it's kind of a mass production type thing. So there we are for scale again. Okay. In this box here, I picked up this tank. So it's one of these you got to assemble yourself. It even comes with a little screwdriver, you know, with the wheels and treads and all that other kind of stuff. I'm gonna make this look ruined as well too. So, a little project. It's got guns all over it and all kinds of stuff, and it's to scale. So, seen it? Scooped it. During Halloween is the best time to pick up all your skull stuff. Like, I think this skull was 89 cents, and it was just white before when I got it. So I primed it gray, right? And then what I did was, if you look on the top there, see how it all looks like stone? Well, I just took an X-Acto knife and carved all those little lines in, all the way around. Didn't take too long, but now it's actually going to look, let's put it up here, it's actually going to look like some ruins. So let's get all this out of the way. There you go. And always a guide for scale. Now it looks like something, you know, right out of Indiana Jones, eh? There you go.